Hey guys, so welcome back. So just as I was putting the finishing touches on the edits and waiting for the upload to happen on the last video, we got the announcement from Big Hit this afternoon in Korea about Jin's willingness to forego his special extension, which basically only lasts until his birthday in December, but they said that he's willing to forego that extension and start the process to enlist in the military, thereby solidifying Big Hit's public stance that they're okay with BTS fulfilling their patriotic duty to serve in the military. Now, that doesn't change how I feel about what I said in the last video, and then also what I believe if you're still actively wanting to just express how you feel or try to see if this is not over yet, because the critical piece of this is that we have not gotten a response from the government or the Military Manpower Association saying that they accept that offer. So there are some things that I think we need to talk about in that vein. And of course, the sale continues for the Eco Face mask. Like I said, the supplies are limited for the rose gold color, and a lot of you guys have expressed interest and are getting it. And I wanted to go over one of the features. Battery is actually in the handset and not in the actual mask. The reason why is that if you put the battery in the mask, this thing is going to be so heavy. And so the magic of this technology is that the battery is here, so it's not weighing on your face. But then somehow that can create a situation where you're not really aware of how to recharge it because you have to change the ports. So I'm going to show you how to do that at the end of this video if you're interested in the mask. All right, guys, well, stay tuned. We got a lot to cover. So is Big Hit taking the high road and just saying, hey, we surrender? Big Hit is just saying that, okay, fine, BTS is just going to go to the military. Or are they still in the game and did they just throw the ball into the court of the government and the Military Manpower Association in a very slick palace politics move? Now, option one is, if you're just tired of this and you are fine with the fact that, okay, we have a decision, they're going to the military, it is what it is at face value. BTS, starting with Jin, they're all going to go to the military. It's been decided. The government will accept the offer, and they have just made it easy for South Korea to move along with not including pop stars or expanding the parameters of artists that bring international acclaim to Korea to be exempted from the military. But option two sounds very interesting to me because the government did not make this decision. It's not as if the government is saying like, okay guys, we thought about it and we've made our decision. Jin, you have to go to the military. It was preempted by Big Hit basically saying like, look, they're gonna go, they're willing to go, but if you look at the way that Big Hit worded this announcement, they said in a very interesting way that group member Jin will initiate the process as soon as his schedule for his solo release is concluded at the end of October. He will then follow the enlistment procedure of the Korean government. So if the procedure of the Korean government is that, oh, well, we decided to give you the exemption, then they're just going to follow and perhaps you won't have to go. Now, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up unnecessarily. I don't want to give you hopium about the potential that maybe that Jin and the rest of the BTS members don't go. But unless we hear from the Korean government tomorrow, Korea time, that they said, hey, yeah, okay, we accept. You're going to go to the military. Game over. Until we hear that, we know that this is not a done deal. But what Big Hit has done in a very smart way, number one, is to put the floor on this. As if, like a market bottom, like it can't get worse than this because they're going to go to the military. So in their mind. And so anything that's different can only be better from up here. Now, they also were able to just let the air out of the balloon and say, look, we don't want to do anything that is going to upset the country, upset the government. We are the ones that have done everything right. We're the ones that have followed your orders. We've been a good team player in all of this. And even though we have got the short end of the stick time and time again, you can never say that Big Hit or Hybe took advantage of the situation or was nothing but the best behaved company and artists when it came to this issue. So there should be no backlash or any kind of ill will towards BTS, Big Hit, and Hybe. However, if it does turn out that the government will grant military exemption, this is a very slick move because Hybe front ran the whole schedule and said, hey, thank you. We are glad that the guys can be exempted, but we've already been on the record way before the deadline saying that we're ready to go, that we're willing to serve the country in this way as well. So from the Big Hit Hybe position, I think this was the smartest business decision, and also just out of their hearts, this aligns, I think, with their company reputation of being forthright and non-manipulative. Now, behind the scenes, though, if they are still in the game, and if they're still angling for a military exemption, I think this is probably, at this point, the smartest way to go as well. Because, we all know, Big Hit Hybe, you don't get up there without knowing how to play the game and run in circles around people that don't expect it. So if you want to be a peaceful army member and just, not have to worry about this anymore, well, Hybe and Big Hit have given you that option that don't worry about it anymore. If you are an army member or a supporter or a fan who is sad, enraged, depressed, well, put your feelings on paper or type or voice or call, because I think that it is now time for Korea to understand what the consequences of this action would be. I think that is completely up in your rights to express what you're going to do in response. You're not going to come to Korea. You're not going to buy Korean products. You're just going to lose interest in Korea. I think the strategy now, if you're not going to be a peaceful army member, is to now shift the attention to Korea Inc., the top Korean companies that will then feel the economic effects of this decision and how unfair it is to these companies that their bottom line is going to be affected by the actions of the political circle, of the government circle that is out of their hands, and yet they're going to feel the pain. And when I say this game is not necessarily over until there is a response from the government, and time is of the essence, I think, right now. I'm going to put down links to Hyundai, LG, Samsung, even the Korea Investment Office. all of those places in the description below. Take your pick, whether you want to do email or go through their website or Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You don't have to do all of them. Just do whatever you want and speak from the heart. You know, if we're looking into cars, target the cars. If you're going to cancel your flight, then target the airlines. Just let them know what's going to happen. Why? Because these companies are the ones that grease the wheels of politics in Korea. These companies are the ones that the politicians are a lot more sensitive to in terms of getting pressure. Now, I know in the previous videos we said, let's just, talk to the politicians directly. Maybe we had that a little bit backward. We should have started with the companies that really do bankroll and influence and give power to those people who want power themselves. And so if you are inclined, if you still want to speak up, if you just want to kind of let it all out, I think now the strategy is to contact the companies that are going to lose your business. Even like the snacks and the ramen, Nongshim, so popular around the world. Or even like the food, delicious, right? Bibigo from CJ Group, delicious Korean food. I don't know how they make processed Korean food taste kind of like it was homemade. And though they have like a whole food bio research lab, and so they're doing their job. But I think they should really see and feel from your comments what this impact will be. Because in this day and age where we're not in the best economic climate, and also the projections for 2023 around the world say recession, Korea needs every percentage point or less than a percentage point in GDP it can get. Moving the needle 0.5% GDP, which BTS really does, and who knows if the spill-on effects are not even captured in that, data set, can be the difference between like a hooray or like, oh my god, things are going down, down, down. And these things, have their own snowball momentum. So let them know that Korea's outlook for 2023 is going to be in jeopardy because of this decision, and it's because just a few people in the government were effing around. Now the whole country is going to find out. And you know who is really going to find out, again, are the businessmen, the diplomats who have to go abroad. This has done so much damage to the reputation of Korea. It really does show that, wow, there are a lot of people, and I don't want to say like this, there's going to be a stereotype now, but there are going to be a lot of people who are going to look at that conglomerate owner, that businessman, and that politician and that diplomat with a different set of eyes, thinking like, whoa, are they going to backstab me too? Are they going to not fulfill their promises when they treat their own people this way? Maybe I need to backstab them first before they backstab me. Contracts are going to be in peril. Negotiations aren't going to go as smooth. And also, you think, Mr. Politician, when you go overseas, your ego can handle this? You step into a different world when you leave Korea that is more favorable to you because of BTS, because of what they did to roll out the red carpet for any South Korean that follows in their footsteps. You're going to see what happens when people have not only racism against you, but now this kind of side eye about like, I don't know if I should trust these people because I've seen like now what they are really like in terms of being two-faced. Now, why do I say we shouldn't really give up? If you take a page out of the way that Korean people act in a similar situation, especially if you're the bad person, if you're the criminal, or if you did something wrong, these people never give up. At the point where they say like, oh, we're giving up, that's when the game is actually getting started. And so when you look at these situations, especially like when people are in trouble, and we've seen politicians do this, and then if you just want like some sort of semi-related analogy, you never see Donald Trump give up. That man has been down in the trenches where it looks like it's over. He never gives up. He keeps spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and talking his way out of the most horrendous situations. This is a point where we are in the right, where we, as the supporters of BTS and BTS themselves, are not in the position of being the bad guy. But why do the bad guys only keep going? Why is it the good people give up or give in? I think at this point, why not? If you have energy to cry or vent or lament, don't do it there. Take some action. And so I think that if the army does not give up and just like taps away, that is the Korean method. That is what Korean people actually do respond to, because you just give them enough more, you flood the information in your way, then they change their mind. And if it looks like a situation where things are not going to go well from many viewpoints, if you guys really do, if there really are 40 million to 50 million people around the world who are upset and are contacting all these companies, you better believe these company heads are then going to go straight to the government and say like, look, rethink this. We still have time. You can make up some excuse to give them exemption, but don't mess with our business, because if you get in between a man and his wallet or a woman and her purse, that is when things start to change. That is when people start to then, you see what's really important to them, and they don't care about 7 guys who are pop stars missing from the military. Now, if it were the other way around, where basically people get upset like, oh, if they don't go to the military, like right now, the environment I think is like, oh, if they don't go to the military, then people are going to be mad and it may affect our, the general culture or the mood of the country, and that's not good. But if you specifically say, with better arguments, this is exactly what I'm going to do next year, and it's not going to be in Korea as a tourist or as somebody who is in a different country gonna consume Korean products, then I think they need to know this now. Let the rest of October run and give the government a reason to at least delay, and then keep bombarding the opinion makers to change their mind. Or see, the mind hasn't been set. So that is the little strategic pocket that I wanted to bring up, that this, to a Korean person, and especially if this was a Korean criminal, they'd be like, oh, the game has just got started now, and now is the time to just like boom, 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 and really try to massage the opinions of people who can put pressure on the people who are making these decisions. Because if you've seen from the news and from the dramas, a lot of court cases, a lot of political decisions get made on the flimsiest arguments, where you can tell that, oh, well, they wanted it a certain way, and this argument is so flimsy. And if you are just going to let flimsy arguments by bad people continue to shape the world, then that's up to you. But I think that what this whole situation has shown is that the BTS fans, the community, the army, are a group of people that have different view of the world, that the world could be more beautiful if we worked and nurtured it, that the world does deserve to be protected as well, and that people who, like BTS, bring joy to the world should be allowed to continue to do that for the goodness of humanity. And I think that this community is one that does believe in that and has shown just through very quiet strength that that's what they want, that's what they believe in, and that's how they're moving the world forward. But now I think it's an opportunity for you guys to practice your voice in this issue, send it all to Korea, and then perhaps it will inspire you, if it hasn't already, to take action in your own communities. Because I think that is one of the greatest gifts that BTS has given the world, is hope and agency and empowerment, that you can believe in a good world and work towards it. And so mainly your support and actions have been towards supporting BTS, but now I think this is a heaven sent message saying that perhaps you guys should now feel like you can take this power, especially if you have to wait for BTS till 2025, to then do good in your own communities. So if you want to just practice your words and sharpen your saws, send it over to Korean government, send it over to Korean politicians, send it over to the Korean businesses. Yeah. See what happens when you just do that, because, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Because it's like, you're just like emailing or like posting from overseas. So, I mean, really, there's nothing to lose. But it will, I think, for the people who need to have some sort of expression or outlet, I think it will be quite therapeutic, and it may change the outcome of what's to come. All right, guys, so the mask. A lot of you guys have been expressing interest and also ordering, and this is a beautiful color, and yes, it is a little bit more limited. Oh gosh, the lighting is crazy. So I'm gonna try to not have it reflect. That's why I'm like holding it in a weird way. Now, like I said, the battery is not in the mask, so please do not try to charge the mask directly from the outlet. So this is when you use the mask. The small USB goes into the bottom, the chin area, and then the big USB cable goes into the handset, and then the electricity flows from the handset, because this is where the battery is, and then goes into the mask. And I've heard from some customers who forget to, they didn't think that you had to charge it. And they're like, what's going on? So you have to charge this every now and then because the battery power's in here. And then I heard from another customer who took this and directly tried to charge the mask because they thought the battery was inside here, but it's not. So again, this is the handset, and this is where the power goes out. Now, when you want to recharge it, you have to go in the opposite way. So you completely disconnect it from the mask. You put the mask somewhere else. It comes with a nice little stand cradle so you could display it. And before it was like this, right? The big USB was at the top and this went into the mask. Now what you're going to do is there's a bottom port. That's where you put the USB, the small one, and then the big one now goes into your charging adapter. And then so it charges this way. So this is basically like from the electricity source goes in and it charges. When you want to get the electricity out and into the mask, then you reverse it. You put the small one into the mask and you put this becomes like the charger and it goes out. So small one is always in. So do you want the electricity into the handset? Put the small one into the handset. Do you want the electricity to go into the mask? You put the small one into the mask, and not from a direct charger, but from the handset, which then becomes the electric source. So that's just a quick tutorial on how to use the components for this amazing mask. And again, the main benefit is collagen regeneration, especially if you use it between the hours of 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., which is when the body naturally rebuilds the collagen. It'll help with fine lines and wrinkles, and also any kind of micro skin discoloration, because it's going deep underneath the layers of your epidermis. It's going into the sublayers of your skin through red light LED therapy. So remember, coupon code is still valid. You can get $60 off just for Seoulite TV viewers. Coupon code Seoulite TV. So there you go. Check it out. And what do you think, guys? If you guys want to just, chill and relax, I totally understand that. For the people who want to really express their views about what this decision is going to do to their lives and the ramifications, then please, now let's talk to the sponsors, the corporations, the advertisers who really have funded a lot of the politicians and also helped sponsor the concert to save the politicians' butt, because they did not pay for this Busan concert. Who else paid? The companies. So let's talk to the companies now and tell them what they're all about to find out. All right, guys. Well, put your comments below and remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.